Well, I think the point is that it's driven by real demand. Taking China, for example, the figure I heard was 80% is either for first homes or for trade-ups. So, this isn't speculative demand. In Hong Kong and in Singapore, it's driven by a shortage of land, therefore a shortage of real estate, and increasing personal wealth. And the effect of quantitative easing in the Western economies is having this effect on real estate prices in the developing nations, because interest rates are artificially low. And I think it's inevitable. The way to deal with it is by increasing supply, which they are trying to do in Hong Kong and in Singapore, but it takes a while.
So what do you suggest for markets like Hong Kong, for instance, where you say prices haven't slowed down? What can they do to try to rein it in?
They have to provide the land on which new apartments can be built. All of this is going to sort of be taking place in non-traditional residential areas, so they have to put in the infrastructure. But it's really a question of boosting supply. I mean, the chief executive is a property guy. He was chairman of DTZ in Asia, so he should know what he's doing.
All right. And what would you view the outlook like for this region in the property market?
Well, I'm afraid I think it's quite dangerous. It's going to be a while before the quantitative easing in the States, in Europe, and in Japan is going to sort of run its course. Ben Bernanke says that interest rates are going to remain low until 2015. Well, that's plenty of time for asset prices to sort of build up to an unsustainable level here in Asia.
So you're warning of a bubble?
Yes.
Right, and could you elaborate on that? I mean, what could potentially happen with the bursting of that bubble? Obviously, we saw the financial crisis in 08 and 09 in the US. Would there be something similar here in Asia involving property?
Bubbles don't necessarily need to burst. They can subside of their own accord. I think the most likely outcome, because we're not talking about a lot of leverage here. One thing governments can do is to restrict the amount of leverage that is used to buy these assets. And it's a withdrawal of debt finance that really can cause a bubble to burst in an explosive way. I think it's more likely to deflate as people realize that prices don't always go up forever.